to talk to you. I got to you late. Let's get right to it. What do you think of the governor's plan to, which is backed by most Republicans so far, to get rid of the income tax?
Well, hey, Hoppy, thanks for having me on.
Sure.
Yeah, what a ride he took us on last night. I mean, he was up and down and left and right and all over the board. I mean, the bottom line is, we want to do whatever it takes to put more money in the pockets of the average West Virginians. But last night, Hoppy, the numbers just didn't add up. I mean, you can talk about reducing the personal income tax out of your left pocket, but when the money in your right pocket has to decrease double just to pay for it, it just doesn't add up. And I was really disappointed not to hear any new revenue sources or revenue streams when he's talking about how he's going to make up for the personal income tax. You might get to about $200 million in money when you cut a little bit here, cut a little bit there. Talked about cutting government for about $25 million, but then he wants to add another layer of government by adding intermediate courts. It's going to cost another $13 million, so you only have a net savings of about $12 million there. I think the bottom line is this. This is not a decrease in taxes. This is a tax shift. You're shifting it from one West Virginian to the other. Someone's got to make up for this. He talked about all these miracles last night in West Virginia. And, hey, I'll applaud the governor. He's done a great job with the vaccination rollout, and I appreciate his leadership on that and encouraging all West Virginians to get the vaccine. But the bottom line is this. The miracle is going to be, how do you balance a budget when you have a $2.5 billion hole in it?
Well, the argument is, Doug, that initially there is a shift where other taxes will make up for the lost tax revenue from the income tax. But without an income tax, the argument goes, there's going to be growth because people want to locate in West Virginia because there's no income tax. A lot of mom and pop businesses pay their income tax as personal income taxes rather than a business. So they're saying that it will spur growth that will be an overall benefit. Do you not buy that argument?
Hey, Hoppy, under this leadership, the last 4 years, we lost almost 60,000 people. We've had 4 years to change the tax climate and do things to attract businesses to this state, and what has happened? We've lost people. We've lost 60,000 people. Now they're going to make up for this tax. You know what they're going to do? They're going to tax other people, average West Virginians, and they're going to decrease funding to our higher education institutions. They're going to take away the Promise Scholarship. And the one group of people that leave our state the quickest is our young, best, and brightest students. And that's what they're going to do to help pay for this plan. So how can you say you want to attract all these people here? We can't even keep the people that we have here. We need to focus on the West Virginians that have been here. They want to stay here. They want to rebuild, and they want to succeed. What about all those small businesses that are struggling right now? What about all those people who are working every day to just make their utility bills? And now we want to do something radical like this. Let's focus on those West Virginians that are here, help them get back on their feet coming after this COVID. I mean, the one thing he talked about was taking COVID relief money and putting them in a couple extra new buckets. I mean, we don't need any more buckets right now, Hoppy. We've got people struggling right now. We've got to do what we can to help West Virginians in need. The last thing we need to do is create more buckets to offset this income tax.
House Minority Leader Doug Scaff is with us. Well, we have not seen that. We know some of the specifics, but we haven't seen all the fine print. But again, as I understand it, the argument is that there's going to be like $25 or $30 million in cuts. But I do not believe that includes a cut to the Promise Scholarship or higher ed. I don't believe. I don't know where the cuts.
There was a laundry list of things they wanted to cut. I mean, one thing is he definitely said, and it's funny, on the campaign trail, you heard the majority party talk about no new taxes, no tax increases, and the first thing he said, he's going to raise sales tax. He's going to raise tax on other items. And he's going to do this on the average West Virginians are going to pay. The ones that can't afford to pay more taxes are the ones that are going to be affected the most. This may not affect those in the small percentile and the wealthy and those that can afford to pay more taxes, but the average West Virginian, that median income, is going to have to pay more taxes out of their pocket on the daily services. He talked about increasing professional services, like your dental visits, and going to meet your doctor, going to paying for your everyday services that you need, to get your hair cut. The average West Virginian is going to have to pay more to get your hair cut now. That doesn't affect the wealthy, but those average-day West Virginians are going to have to pay more to live their life if they want to stay in West Virginia.
Doug, the Republicans have supermajorities in the House and Senate. Is what you're saying is generally the caucus view of the Democrats? And B, if it is, how do you fight back?
Well, here's what I'm going to say. We want to do whatever it takes to put more money in the pockets of the West Virginians. This does not add up. If you show me a plan on how we cannot take money out of the pockets of the average West Virginians and just shift the tax burden from one to the other, hey, sign me up. sign our party up. We'd be happy to support this. But we have not seen that. We've been talking about doing something bold and drastic for 4 years. We have not seen this. They talked about creating this new culture here where 400,000 people are going to move here. Hell, we've lost 60,000 people over the last 4 years, Hoppy. 400,000 people. You know some of those other states that don't have this. Texas, Florida, and places like that. You know what they have? 10 times more people starting out with than we have. They have a base of more people paying into that sales tax bucket that he's talking about. So when we have small business shutting down right now, and you say you're going to spend more money in our economy, what if we don't have any businesses? What if those restaurants are all closed down? If we don't do something right now to help those West Virginians that are struggling, to help our small businesses, get our people back on their feet, that's what we should be focusing on.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. House Minority Leader Doug Scaff, Democrat, Kanawha County. Doug, good to speak with you. Thank you.